the FDA actually is coming up with a new labeling system for all sunscreens in the next couple years. And generally it was thought of in the past that the higher the better, or as you had mentioned before, if you picked one number and picked double that, you're getting double the protection. But what it stands for is actually the amount of minutes that you're going to be able to go before you get a burn versus going without sunscreen, the amount of minutes that you would go with a burn. So if you are a person who would go out and get burned after 1 minute, generally an SPF 50 is going to cover you for 50 minutes until you start to get burned. So it's not exactly a correlation that you can make number by number. It's more along the line of a slope in terms of an SPF's protection. But an SPF only addresses the part of the sun spectrum, so it addresses only the UVB part of the sun's rays. But there's also UVA rays that come from the sun and cause skin damage and cancerous damage, and that part has never been labeled on sunscreens before. So that's what the FDA is trying to come up with in terms of addressing that part of it and giving consumers a better idea in terms of what kind of protection they're getting for the UVA part. In addition to the other sunscreen stuff that I had mentioned, the way that sunscreen used to be labeled was that they said that it had UVA, UVB protection, and now it's just going to say broad spectrum, so that you're getting that whole spectrum of protection with the new FDA requirements for the labeling. Also, a lot of people ask about whether sunscreen truly can be waterproof or sweat-proof. And there's no sunscreen that is completely waterproof. You have to reapply if you're swimming or sweating a lot. There are certain tests that the FDA mandates that sunscreens pass in terms of being water resistant. And if something says water resistant, then you can trust that it's going to stay on better than something that isn't, but you still have to reapply.